All right, so that was Tyrell number 39, which is part of the 2019 CODA and All-State first round tuba etudes. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations working this up, and even that wasn't perfect. But hopefully, at least gives you an idea of what we're kind of going to be needing to focus on, and give you an idea of what it sounds like. So the biggest thing, obviously, there's quite a bit of articulation differentiation between marcato and staccato and accent. Especially as we get into the repetitive 16th notes, try not to think of the staccatos too short. Again, the tempo that we're going to be taking them at. If we're really trying to put an equal amount of space and sound, I mean, it's just going to sound really choppy, and we're not going to get the desired effect that we're going for. To me, the staccatos in the 16th notes just to be light, to be lifted, and not be too connected. Beyond that, again, sort of the nice part about this is, I don't want to say it's repetitive like a lot of the Tyrells. It's really just based off scales, chords, and modes. So if you can kind of hear either the chords or the scale or whatever mode we're in at a given time, it does make it quite a bit easier to be able to hear and play it through. I know for me, one of the things that I work on with my students with this is really making sure that we maintain just great clarity of sound throughout the entire articulate, or throughout the entire etude. It's very easy as we get to the, for lack of a better phrase, the extremes of the register, where we start to get a little bit more thin or bright sound and not the same dark sound we get in the meat and potatoes of our register here in the middle. So really just focusing on making sure we're having great open ah or ah vowel syllables throughout whatever range that we're playing in is really a focus throughout this. From there, obviously we want to make sure that we take this nice and slow to start. I think sometimes, especially younger players, but even myself, and I'm not that old, but old enough, that sometimes we get new music, we just kind of want to dive into it right away, and it takes a lot of focus and self-restraint to just set that metronome for quarter note equals 60 with the 16th note subdivision on, and just take it nice and easy to work your way through it. The probably doesn't come through great on here, but I do try to do a little bit of dynamics with some of these lines as they rise and fall. Not just for the musical side of things, but also one of the challenges with this is there's not a ton of great spots to breathe, so there are times where I'm trying to conserve my breath and playing a little bit softer than maybe I would if I had the ability to breathe a little bit more readily. But as always, you kind of got to figure out what you can reasonably do, and I would say if you need to leave a note or two off as you're learning this to get a quality breath in, I, at least from my perspective, I certainly think that's okay. I would encourage you to obviously breathe in time with the metronome, but still get your fingers going so you're working on the pattern, so when you are able to get this faster and be able to do some of these longer technical phrases in one breath, it's not going to feel too weird. It's still incorporating the fingers. From there, again, just have fun with this. Just, I think, too often times we tend to get really tense and like, oh man, this is a lot of fun to play, because every student I've ever worked in this on enjoys this etude. I've enjoyed playing this etude, so it's a fun etude to play. But I think if we get a little bit too too into it. Maybe into it's not the best phrase, but I think we have a tendency to get just too tense. Like, all right, I can't wait to play technical. I can't wait to play fast. This is gonna be so cool. And we just need to relax. Like, yeah, man, just let your sound float on top of the air. Let your air have all the energy. Let your air have the direction. And I think that's what really helps kind of clean this up and helps get you to the next level. So, as always, thank you for watching and happy practicing.